Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Darren Hamilton, Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. This is our regular Monday morning meeting. I'd like to welcome you all to it. We have Tom Drish, Christine Estel, and Marianne Nordyke with us so far on Zoom, and I'm sure there'll be others joining us as we go along in the meeting. Our first item on the agenda this morning is to acknowledge the minutes from the previous meeting. We have meetings that we attended on June 6th and June 10th. I would like a motion to approve both.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Drish, a second from Sandquist. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. All right, our next order of business is to meet with our county engineer, Dwayne Hines. Good morning.
Good
Dwayne.
morning, supervisors. We started our contract rock last week. Day one had a few hiccups in it, as you would expect, but once we got through about half the day, things kind of smoothed out, and we're running about a 2,300 ton a day average, which was in the window we'd hoped to hit. Things appear to be going well. We're done with 155th. We're about 60% complete on ash between the pavement north of Batavia and Brookville Road. Next after ash will be 203rd from ash to 34th, or excuse me, to Highway 34. And then from there, we'll go up to 1/10 from Packwood Road west to Linby. That should take the rest of this week and into next. See, other than that, basically everything's been pretty well routine.
Mowing pretty much is all done until the next go around coming up later.
Yeah, we've got most of the mowing done. We're doing some bridge spraying on the gravel road bridges because the visibility of the bridge markers is getting impaired.
Yeah.
So we'll spray and mow around those yet.
So you say most of the mowing along the county roads is done?
Yeah, that we're going to do for now.
Oh.
Why do you ask like that? You make me nervous when you give me that look. We may have an issue getting paint this year. It was a struggle last year. We were lucky last year and got our paint supply. We ordered early this year, but our supplier has told us that they're most likely going to assure that they get the Iowa DOT serviced, but everybody else is kind of a coin toss if we get anything or not.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from the DOT. And they're supposed to get their paint in front of everybody else. But
and there's only really two suppliers in the state, and they're both in the same ball or the same bed. Basically, they can't get material. They can't get raw material. I spoke with Troy, our paint superintendent, about it, and I told him that if we can get paint towards the end of the year, even though it may be too late to apply it, we'd consider taking possession of the paint, keeping it heated all winter, so that we would have it in the spring to utilize.
How many barrels do you normally get? Because they're 55-gallon drums.
Well, they get them in 250-gallon totes now.
Oh, okay.
So he gets, I want to say a half a dozen totes.
Okay.
It would basically take a bay for one of our dump trucks.
Okay, that was what I was more concerned about, is how much space is it going to take up, because you need to keep it heated all through the winter, otherwise it'll go bad on you. So,
and being as he won't be painting, he should be available to get all his signs brought up.
Good.
He's always struggled to take care of both of those responsibilities, and it's always kept him hopping.
How many sun faded type signs do you think we need to replace? You have no
that
way
I'm
of
not
guessing?
sure of, but Troy does a really good job of running around. He actually goes out at night and kind of checks that to see where that is.
He's got a reflectivity or reflectometer or whatever they call it.
No, he just eyeballs them.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, we used to have an employee that was night blind.
Yeah.
And he'd take him out, and if he couldn't see the reflectivity, then we knew it was time to replace him. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing with it now, but
Yeah.
he does a really good job. And I haven't had any complaints on.
Well,
any of
the
signs.
predominant ones were the west facing signs because they always take the biggest beating from the sun, especially in the summertime. So, all right. Everything else going well for the
Everything else is
crew
going
and
well. We've got
everyone?
We're receiving bids on Thursday afternoon for our crack fill project. So
Okay.
next week we'll have that before you guys to approve the contract with whoever the low bidder happens to be.
Okay.
I probably won't know who the low bidder is in time to have that in the agenda, but we'll just have a generic consider
Right.
and approve
Plans and
Yeah.
specifications for project.
form of contract.
Okay.
And we ended up 2 addenda on it, a couple things I missed when I was putting the plans together, but
Can happen. A lot of stuff with projects like that.
so we're looking forward to that. And as I told you last week, we had 7 people take out plans. We're really excited to see how many of them actually turn in bids and where we come in.
Good.
Calhoun Burns is working on getting the final plans for the Cedar Avenue Bridge. And I did find out I need more paperwork on those easements. So Melissa Fowler got her notary public
Mhm.
certification so that she can notarize those signatures and we'll get those.
Okay.
And we'll have those hopefully the next week or so recorded.
Mhm.
Other than that, they're also working on the Libertyville Road Bridge. To try and get that ready for theoretically 2024 construction. Working on our patching program and doing the legwork for the Libertyville Road reconstruction project here in a few years. But preliminary work takes time.
Okay.
And I'm working on your maps.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I didn't forget about
When I
it.
was out and signed some documents the other day out at the county engineer's office, I showed him a map of what Scott used to do with giving us highlights on routes that are being done, the county map, and then telling us what the project costs are for those areas. And I've asked Dwayne if he can duplicate something like that or create something like that for us so that we have something. I always carry mine with me, not only just to know where I'm headed at some point in time, but also that this was done and this was done and this should be completed coming up and those kind of timeframe items. So I think that's always good for us board members to have something like that along with us, and that's why I asked you for it.
I'll try and get you multiple copies. So if somebody stops you and would like a copy, you'll have extra.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. So, all right, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is consider fiscal year 2023 employee salaries. We have a list of the salaries on this resolution.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve.
I would like to say something.
Yes.
So we seem to have had several questions as to whether or not the people that, let's say, they're within so many days of July 1st, getting that 5%, 5.5% raise.
Mhm.
But also our handbooks doesn't address that at all.
Right,
So I do think we need to fix our handbook.
Yep,
right. And there's several more than just one.
That's correct.
Mhm.
There is.
I agree. So who wants
So
to
I will
contact our
I
HR?
will second that motion.
Okay,
Okay, so,
discussion then,
right, discussion on the item.
since you brought that up, I would suggest let's handle that in,
Mhm. Yeah,
committee reports, because that kind of goes on with,
Yeah, because
because we can,
it's not something that usually it's addressed.
correct.
Our handbook is full of little things like that.
I think we need to update it, yep.
Yep.
Okay,
All righty, so I have a motion from Sandquist, a second from Drish to approve resolution, be it resolved with the Board of Supervisors of Jefferson County, Iowa, that the following Jefferson County employees will be paid the following salaries per pay period effective July 1st, 2022. Part-time employees will be paid the following amounts. Okay, I won't go through the entire list. It's 2 pages long. We have nearly,
It's in the auditor's office.
and a copy is in the auditor's office on file. So, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, all those opposed? Motion carries 3-0. All right, moving on then, Sheriff's Office update on School Resource Officer from Pekin, for Pekin School.
Wait a minute, do we have to do this one separately, Abby, or is this part of the other one?
Which one separately? I didn't, oh, there's names on this list that aren't current
Yep.
as well. Why is
So
that?
let's table it till next week.
As well.
Okay. Well, that's true. It isn't current as well up there at the top, so.
That's the only thing that we got, so.
Can we table this one till next week and get it updated?
Yep. Okay. Here's this.
Hi, Jared.
Hello.
All right. Jerry Marcellus is here in Bart Richmond's place today. Bart is on sick leave, so. Jerry,
Yeah, good morning. So we've been discussing the concept of a school resource officer for some time now.
Right,
Um, We're to the point where we have a 28E agreement that's been drafted and reviewed by our county attorney's office and by the Pekin Community Schools attorney. And it's been approved by them. And I've presented you folks with a copy of that draft for consideration this morning. A couple of key things in the draft that I think are important is the school resource officer position. We have a deputy, Angie Porn, who's gotten advanced training in school resource officer program concepts on a national program. So she's prepared to step into that role. And this 28E describes the goals and duties of that role. So according to this agreement, what we've decided, if it's approved by the board and by the school board tonight, starting in August, she'd be up there 2 days a week doing her school resource officer program for the students and staff up there. And this agreement kind of explains what she'll be doing up there. The school is under Article 6 of this agreement. The compensation for us to provide a deputy to the school for those 2 days a week during the school year was going to not exceed $20,000. So be approximately that.
and who pays for that?
The school will.
That's what I thought, I just wanted to make
Yep,
sure.
the school will provide that those monies to the county. And if for some reason this agreement is for 2 years, it'd be for this coming school year and the next school year. And if for some reason something happens where it's not working out or whatever, there's the agreement can be terminated without penalty. One other thing I want to mention is our office is also in the process of applying for a COPS grant, hiring grant. and that's due on the 16th of this month. And a stipulation of that grant application is we would need a signed 28E agreement or a memo of understanding with the school as an attachment to that application for them to consider that application.
Could you explain to me a little bit more about a hiring grant?
We're exploring the idea of actually adding a position to our sheriff's office, and that hiring grant would provide $125,000 over 3 years to help pay for salary and benefits for that deputy position.
Why do we need another position?
Yeah,
Well, we'd like to expand this school resource officer program if possible. Right now, we'll be able to cover our shifts with Deputy Porn going up there to the school 2 days a week. But it does limit, we understand this and we're prepared for it, but it does limit the availability of her as far as, her civil duties and calls for service and things like
Right.
that we will step in and take care of.
So how does the priority go? Because you know how scheduling works.
Mhm.
You have people that are out on leave and then they're back, or vacations, because you've got a lot of long-time employees. So where would the priority be? Would it be for the, if you had to pull Angie off, or would she stay up there when you'd run short here? How would that work?
This agreement allows for things like that, vacation, training,
Okay.
other factors that would come up. It's fairly flexible. And if there's days where she can't be there to do her curriculum during the day, there might be a time where she'd be up there, covering a ball game or something like that in the evening, or a special event or program in the evening if she couldn't be there during the day, things like that.
Okay.
So it's fairly flexible.
I know you've been working on this a long time.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I think there's a lot of good positives in there. There's under roles and duties, there's like 19 things in there. And, it's not just focused on, law enforcement. There's a lot of mentoring and just positive role modeling and things like that she'll be helping teach the kids and staff.
Sure.
And in this day and age, school safety is a big issue, and that's part of this program
Right.
too.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the 2080 agreement between Pekin Community Schools and Jefferson County, Iowa for the Resource Officer Program 2022 to 23 and 23 to 24 school years.
So there is no action item on your agenda for that.
Can you put it on our agenda for tomorrow since he needs it by the 16th? Okay. So we'll approve it tomorrow. then.
okay. So we'll hold off on that approval.
We have a meeting tomorrow at 10. So that agenda will be updated.
So you'll want to hang on to this. Okay, thank you for the update on that. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, let's make the committee reports. We got anybody with committee reports? Susie?
No.
No? Dee?
Had SEAL Mental Health Wednesday. And they are, for years, if you've been around long enough, you've heard me get on the soapbox about, we have a lot of great programs, but nobody knows about them. So they're getting some promotional materials ordered, and as soon as those come in, those will take a little bit, but the governance board approved some funds so that there will be information on how to access mental health services, SEAL website, suicide prevention, hotlines, and those types of things. So as soon as we get those materials, we will be distributing them. You can always get them through Optimate or Sandy Stever. I'm sure we'll have some. There's a lot of changes going on, start July 1st with the funding in mental health now because it's taken over by the state. So they're diligently working with auditor's office to make a smooth transition. And that's probably the highlights of that. Approve some routine contracts. The Board of Health and the Board of Supervisors met Wednesday night.
Mhm.
And I did a little bit of follow-up from that meeting. And I called our HR person, as I said, and as far as the exempt and non-exempt, he said we really need to get all the job descriptions from their department heads and see what's on the current ones, and then they can be reviewed. So I would suggest that we get a process to get that done. And then we just talked a little bit ago about the need to update the employee handbook. So that would be another item that needs to be done. So I don't know how this board wants to proceed, but I think we need to start doing that.
Well, I think job descriptions will all need to be updated from what they were 3 years ago when majority of them were turned in as well, because
Well, do you want them sent to you, to all of us? How do you want to do that?
why don't we have
Procedurally.
them sent to all of us? And then we'll need to talk to the department heads and have them work on those descriptions once again.
So, and I think that's it for committee reports.
Okay, I had Russ board meeting last Wednesday, as well as going to the Board of Health, Board of Supervisors meeting. Dee did a good job on reporting on that. We do have a couple of problems going on. Right now, we have one new nuisance that we had identified and sent a letter out on. That person has not contacted Bruce Hudson yet over at Russ since he received the letter. Nothing looks like it's changed out there. Trailers are still not set at all. And the weeds continue to get higher and higher, and they're now starting to surround the trailers pretty bad. And that's one point in the ordinance that we have, that properties need to be kept up when it comes to that kind of stuff. If there is trailers in there, they need to be on types of foundations, not just parked out in the dirt and left on their wheels, those kind of things. So we're hoping that we're going to hear something from him. Otherwise, the 30 days is going to expire and we will move forward with the second phase of what to do about that particular nuisance. We do have a larger problem up in Pleasant Plain. We have some people that are living without sewer in their homes. A couple of them, one of them is in a trailer, camper type trailer, and there's a small outbuilding behind it, and they've been living in both buildings. They're gathering their own waste in 5-gallon buckets and dumping it out on the ground somewhere up there. But the county sanitarian needs to get involved with what's actually going on up there.
Have you
And
talked to him?
stressing that I have not had a chance to talk to him since the meeting this last Wednesday, but I will. He needs to be on top of this, as well as the Russ board, since the material's being dumped out on the ground. And that's the only place you can think of where it would be dumped at this point in time. It's going to become a huge health hazard very rapidly up there. And so that was the major point there. There were some other cities that the Russ board has had some problems with trying to collect on what's going on. And they're not in this county. Our county locations that are involved with Russ have been keeping up as they should. They're a little behind in some cases, but they're doing their best to get where they're caught back up and don't have outstanding balances yet to take care of. So that meeting went really well. I also had the 8th Judicial District meeting this last week, and we're doing really well there. We now have Judge Cronk as our judge liaison with that board. She was at the meeting. I had an opportunity to talk to her about the installation of the mini splits that we're putting in up there. She understands that there's going to be some inconvenience with it, and she's looking forward to it because she said this last winter there was times she was pretty cold in that office that we had been able to give to her, and we want her to continue to stay in that office, and so we want to get this done, but there's going to be debris and noise and drilling and dust and all of the things that go along with construction and drilling through 3-foot thick brick walls in the building in order to get what we need to where it's at. That project is supposed to be starting right now. They had promised Happy Land Plumbing and Heating has promised that they will be here to begin that project. And at this point, we don't have a completion time. They have not given that to us. So I'll have more on that after we get things started today and see how it starts to go. So they're unloading. Well, Abby just told me looking out the window, they're unloading boxes and coming in. So they're here today. They're parked out here. So, all right, that was what I have for committee reports. Do we have any public comments? Again, we have Tom Drish, Christine Nestle, and Marianne Nordike on with us through Zoom. Do we have any comments from any of you? Okay, hearing none. Is there any public comments in the room here? We have Lee Dimmitt in here with us, and Colin from the radio station, of course, is always here taking notes and reporting back. Normally here, taking notes and reporting back to you, the public.
I'm not here. I rest assured I'll always be on.
Okay. Okay. So we don't have any comments here in the room. So we'll go on then to allow claims and approve reports. Do I have a motion to allow the claims and approve the reports?
Not yet.
Still
Thought I'd
open.
look at them first.
Yep.
I have a question.
Sure. Let's go ahead.
Lee, how often do you submit a bill like this? Correct.
Once a month,
Okay,
Thursday,
okay.
and then Brett.
I just have taken to going through this with a fine tooth comb. Thank you.
Yep.
I've got that one right.
Tuesday night.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you.
Lou, I have another question. How often do you guys get notified? I just wonder, prison industries. Prison industries. Prison industry.
No, it's, Cedar Rapids, going white. Going for it.
Delivery. Delivery.
Yeah, install it. And I do my best to get them. Direction. But I also see, everybody else. The next marks the spots of the thing. As well as- I assume or established it or his coach before him. But there's a form that I fill out. I think the process is they get notification. So a lot of the times, I have the location to, for example, stuff on right. Didn't have a person where it was going to be located. I went there, just looked at the general person that was assessor's office on site. But then from a property owner company, website, still was something. So they find Mr. Vendors, Jim Vendors, who can say, it's a copy GPS or the right picture. So that longitude, latitude stuff, next marks the spot and get the aerial. And everything. I see Geocom. Geocom is the scientific methods. So then when they do is I go to any property owner. And they come get us now. I sent them about 8 the other day. And so these two important property owners were anxious. There was a building they're doing. Part of it to keep people's houses because they have some pretty remote areas.
Right.
And so they're now in this. Excuse me, they're now in this.
Sure.
So if
So you to get your aerial views, do you use Google Earth or something?
I use it's called Connect. And the reason for that is that it has buttons, whatever you want to call it, I can use.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so and then I can say that. When I say that, they send me also, they send water system.
And to me, it's nice to know what you do,
Yeah.
not
No,
just
I get it.
leave the 911 guy.
Yeah. And so then when that's all done and said, then I say that. And we folder it. And the addresses and
Yeah.
sign request sent to. So that it's, it took a little bit to get used to this, not to get to the system, but to learn the system. But it works. And like I say, sometimes that is probably me rather than the system, but sometimes I just have the location of the place, see a location. So would be that one. On areas, they're not necessarily trying to determine.
Right.
I have property, you know, subdivision.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, he was going to go. South of, that's what's there.
Wait,
And trying to determine where the driveway is.
We're stopping.
no, I know, we shouldn't. I'll make a motion to approve claims and
I'll second.
reports.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion from Sandquist, a second from Drish to approve the claims and allow reports. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. All right, that
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion from Sandquist to adjourn, second Drish. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
All right, aye. Thank you very much.